got too many things to do right now. Say I don't know what you want, baby girl, come on now. Don't get turned.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, man? Say, man, Dunno, man, we back with another one. Say, man, we got Young Thug, man. The lyrics, I can get them locked up forever. And say, man, I ain't gonna lie, say, I was like in what? Like 5th grade listening to Young Thug. I remember I was listening to Young Thug. No, it was Rich Homie Quan, my fault. It was Rich Homie Quan. I don't know the mixtape. I'll find it in the middle of this video, but I ain't gonna lie. I forgot what I was about to say, but I'm about to hop straight into it with all the talk and get y'all wrapped up. But y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let's go, man.
Thug is fighting the biggest RICO case in rap history, and now the judge is letting his own lyrics be used against him. Some of the bars are wild, but the stories behind them are even crazier. And today we're breaking down the shocking lyrics that might affect Thug's trial. Thug is being charged with 8 counts of conspiracy to violate the RICO Act because the cops think his YSL isn't just a music collective and that they're actually a blood set being run by Thug. A big part of the case is proving that Thug is calling the shots, because that means he'll be guilty of any crimes that people in YSL committed, even if he wasn't there when it went down. A lot of Thug's bars are about the streets, and the prosecution is using lines from tracks like Slime to prove that YSL is active in the trenches, where Thug raps, "Hey, it's that slime, hey, YSL, hey, killing 12, hey, jail, I'm not new to this, hey, I'm so true to this, hey, crazy. I done put whole slime on 100 licks, this that slime, this that mob, fuck judge, YSL, this that mob life." They're also using a couple lines from the track original.
I don't mean to pause it, but they can't use this in court, right? And he said all this after judge off in 12. Yeah, I'm staying far from YSL. I ain't gonna lie.
Slime where Thug said murder gang and YSL until we're dead and pale. Yak Gotti was on the same track with Thug, and the prosecution says that both of them threw up YSL gang signs to the lyrics in a post on social media back in 2017. Yak is a pretty important part of the case. He had a wild come up in the streets repping the Bloods and barely survived getting shot 5 times before he hopped in the booth. He knew Thug from back in the day, and Thug helped him learn how to rap and gave him a lot of support. They linked up for the first time on the track Dream, but then Yak got hit with some charges that led to him being labeled a snitch. In 2015, Yak and his homie YSL Duke was booked for allegedly sliding through the OPSA with a Draco and a pistol. Yak spent 5 years in prison over the case, but there's some paperwork leaked that made some people think he was working with the cops. According to the paperwork, Yak told the cops the Draco was his, and he gave it to Duke so they could clap back at a dude who put hands on Yak. Yak started getting called a snitch on social media, but a reporter from Atlanta named George Sheedy hopped in and said that Yak just pleaded guilty after the cops found him with a gun, and that's why there's paperwork. It turns out that Yak actually took the charge for Duke, and on the track Free to Go, he raps, "Don't with these niggas cause they facade. Riding with Lil Duke and I took the charge. I was facing life and I beat the odds. I just came back. They like, shorty, you hard." There's no evidence that Yak is snitching on Thug or anyone else, but these next lyrics definitely ain't gonna help his case. The prosecution is using Thug's track Anybody against him because he raps, "I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that body. I told him to shoot 100 rounds. Ready for war like I'm Russia. I get all type of cash. I'm a general." One of the biggest parts of the case against Thug is the murder of a dude named Donovan Big Nut Thomas. 5 YSL dudes, including Yak Gotti, are being accused of killing him in a drive-by, and Thug allegedly rented the car they used and is the one who ordered the hit. Big Nut's murder sparked a crazy wave of violence in the city, and is the reason Thug and YSL went to war with wife and Lucci and his crew. But Lucci's not the only rapper who's caught up in the situation. Rich Homie Quan and Young Thug used to be super tight and linked up in the studio all the time. But a couple months after Nut was killed, Quan stopped rocking with him. Quan was close to Big Nut, and he allegedly thinks Thug was behind him getting murdered. A video came out where Quan was allegedly talking about it, and he said, then someone in the room asked him if it was because of his beef with Thug, and Quan said,
"Why did you suspect Young Thug when you went down to Mice? Because people told you, or did you have some beef with Young Thug at the time that kind of led you?"
The story gets even crazier from here though. Back in 2014, Quan's dad was at a barbershop in Atlanta when someone came in and started letting off shots. His dad got hit up and barely survived, and some leaked paperwork says that Quan allegedly thinks Thug was involved with his dad getting shot. It's not clear if Thug actually had anything to do with Big Nut or Quan's dad getting shot, but that was only the start of the war. After Big Nut died, YSL and YFN allegedly started sliding on each other, and Lucci's mom's crib ended up getting shot up twice in 1 week. First time nobody was home.
Shooting somebody, what, my bad, hitting somebody's mom crib up twice in 1 week? Goodness gracious, these boys out here tweaking and geeking, Lord.
But then
These boys out here tweaking and
Lucci's
geeking.
mom and her friend were both hit in the legs. Luckily, they both survived. But Thug's prosecutors claim he bragged about it on the track Bad Boy when he rapped, "You better watch the way you breathe around me, for that breath be your last, boy. Smith & Wesson 4.5, put a hole in his heart, better not play with me. Killers, they stay with me. I shot at his mommy, now he no longer mention me. I had on Margellas when I shot at the act like you want war, and they gon' smoke you like a blunt." Gunna, Yak Gotti, and Thug linked up for the track Take It to Trial, and the cops think Yak bragged about shooting at Lucci's mom when he rapped, "For slimes, you know I kill. Trial, I done beat it twice. State, I'm undefeated like, feds came and snatched me, I don't know. No point in asking. I was on Cleveland, stuck like a magnet. I'll shoot at your man." They're also using this track Just How It Is, where Thug raps about a time he allegedly caught Lucci lacking at the Lennox shopping mall in Atlanta. On the track, he said, "Last tried me, almost got popped in Lennox. Ask the cops, ask the detectives, they all know the business. Ask the cops and the detectives, all the jurisdictions." And from the same song, they also brought in Thug's bars like, "I done did the robbing, I done did the jacket, now I'm full rapping. Gave the lawyer close to 2 mil, he handles all the killings. And we don't speak shit on wax, it's all my business. We known to kill the biggest cats of all kitties." Thug was allegedly self-snitching with some of these bars about specific situations, but the prosecutors also want to use his homies' lyrics to prove he was involved with what they did in the streets. Like on the track Slatty, when Yak Gotti rapped, "Dissect your body like science class," and "Gangsta cause you got a body, little magazine clips, so you might get your issue. You think you gangsta cause you got a pistol." And from the same track, they're submitting Thug's line, "I killed his man in front of his mama, like little bruh, sister, and his cousin." When the news broke the judge was letting the lyrics be used as evidence, people hopped in immediately to call him out. Thug's lawyer Brian Steele said that they're targeting the right to free speech, and they are saying that just because he's singing about it, he's now part of a crime. The judge clapped back and said, "They're not prosecuting your clients because of the songs they wrote. They're using the songs to prove other things your clients may have been involved in. I don't think it's an attack on free speech." Using rap lyrics in the courtroom has been going on for decades. The first time was back in '91 when a rapper named Derek Foster was caught with a kilo of cocaine and 10 gallons of liquid PCP. The cops already had enough evidence to put him away, but they also found his rhyme book where he wrote, "Key for key, pound for pound, I'm the biggest dope dealer and I serve all over town." They submitted the line into evidence, and it helps him get prison time for drug trafficking. Even Snoop Dogg had his lyrics brought up in court. Back in '93, he was facing a murder charge after his bodyguard shot a dude he was beefing with. And during the trial, the prosecutors brought in lyrics from his track Murder Was the Case to prove he was guilty. Luckily, Snoop beat the charge and walked free, but right now it's way too early to know what'll happen to Thug. The prosecutors really want to prove that YSL is a gang and that Thug is the one running it. If they convince the jury that Thug was calling the shots, he'll go down for anything that the rest of the YSL crew did. His lawyer Brian Steele is clapping back and saying that Thug doesn't have anything to do with the streets though. Brian Steele told the courtroom that YSL isn't a gang and that they're only using the name because of the clothing brand Yves Saint Laurent. He also said that Thug is worth tens of millions of dollars and doesn't need to make money in the streets. Steele called Thug and his homies studio gangsters who just rap about the trenches but aren't actually going around shooting people. The prosecutors are trying to use Thug's social media posts against him too. They submitted a photo of Thug throwing up a sign, and according to them, it's a blood sign. Brian Steele clapped back and said that Thug wasn't even making a B with his fingers, and that it was actually a P. Thug, Gunna, and Future had just dropped the track Pushing P, and Steele claims that's why Thug was throwing up the P. Pushing P don't really mean anything specific, but Gunna said it's just about being real and holding it down. He gave a few examples on Twitter so everyone would know what he was talking about, but Brian Steele gave the jury a different explanation. He told the court that pushing P means pushing positivity, and it's all about going after your goals no matter what and not letting anything hold you back. The biggest thing that happened so far is that Thug's homie Gunna took an Alfred plea, which means he ain't saying he's guilty, but thinks the prosecution could convict him if he took it to trial. After the news broke, he told everyone that he didn't make any statements or cooperate with the cops. But then a video leaks where Gunna admitted that YSL is a gang and that he knows dudes in YSL have been involved with street crimes. They also asked him about a time when he got pulled over with Thug in the car and the cops found drugs and guns inside, and Gunna said they weren't his. And a lot of people say that's the same thing as telling them straight up that they were thugs. Gunna still says he didn't flip though. And on the track, I was just thinking, he rapped, only I don't cry cause it's feeling for my bro. And you know my mind, you didn't watch that grow. Know you hearing the lies that your little brother might fold. Yeah, I had popped out, but don't let him say I told. Fans thought Thug took a shot at him when he dropped the track Jonesboro from behind bars and rapped. Street with a bunch of lies like a tigger. Y'all just a bunch of told him he was my homie. I can't miss him. Ain't nobody feel him. But the track was probably recorded way before any of this went down. Gunna ain't the only one who has snitching rumors on his name though. And now people are saying that Thug might have worked with the cops on a murder case back in the day. In June 2023, some news broke that Thug's lawyer wanted to get a detective taken off the trial because he thinks the detective will testify that Thug flipped on an old murder case. Quinn is supposed to testify for the prosecution, and he's allegedly claiming that Thug made statements when he was sitting in the back of a police car. It's not clear what murder he allegedly told him about, but Thug's lawyer says it don't have anything to do with the RICO case and shouldn't be brought up to court. Thug's case took another big hit when his homie J-Man was convicted of murder and robbery. He's part of the RICO case too, but he's already going down for allegedly killing the dude named Christian Broder back in 2018. Broder and some friends were waiting for an Uber when J-Man and his homie walked up and robbed him at gunpoint. Broder and his homies handed everything over, but then he asked for his driver's license back, and that's when J-Man upped his strap and killed him. J-Man said he was recruited into a gang when he was...
So you gonna whack him because he asked for his driver's license? What? You already took everything. Like, you could have just said no. You could have just said no and just ran off or something. But...
only 9 years old, and he's been in the streets ever since. He got booked for a robbery at 14 and was sentenced to 15 years. But the judge let him out because he thought J-Man could turn his life around. Instead, J-Man brutally murdered Christian Broder and is accused of way more crimes in the RICO case. It's not clear how J-Man is connected to the...
Look at this dude. Look at him.
Oh, why it's so RICO yet? But being involved with a dude like that definitely won't help Thug's trial. It took almost a whole year for them to find a jury for the case, but now the trial is finally starting. It might still be a while before we get any concrete answers though, because the trial is probably going to last around a year because of how massive the case is. New details could break any day though, so tap in for updates.
Say, man, Thug, me personally, I feel like he's gonna get out. He gonna be alright. He got a rich white lawyer. He gonna be alright. He'll be perfectly fine. No funny. But nah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Thug gonna be alright. Dilla, I just checked the subscribers and all that. We on our way to 300. Whatever, we up to 300, man. Say, man, appreciate y'all, man. Say 300 subscribers. Kill. Say, man, y'all be easy. Y'all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all enjoy the video, like I said again. And we out this joint. Y'all be safe, man. Bro.